Section 1.4 is about measuring and classifying angles. A lot of stuff going on in this first chapter. Numbers 1 through 29 odd will be your assignment. A lot of it is naming angles, classifying angles, measuring, using some algebra to solve, understanding some vocabulary by sex. So let me give you a little bit of introduction and then we'll go through some of the problems. So I have a couple of angles in here. I can't just refer to angle A. I can't just say angle A. If it was all by itself, I could just say angle A. But if I say angle A here, it's too vague. Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it the whole angle? So I have to be more specific. So I could say angle BAC to indicate this angle, where A is the vertex and the sides are rays. So AB, ray AB would be a side of that angle, and ray AC would be the other side of that angle, in that order. Same thing here, I just can't refer to angle T. I can talk about angle QTR or angle QTP. And then again, incidentally, angle PQT does exist. We're not looking at it, but I could refer to angle QPT. Just because it's not drawn doesn't mean it doesn't exist. In terms of classifying angles, we might talk about acute angles. Do you remember what those are? They're less than 90. Right angles equal 90. Obtuse angles are greater than 90. A straight angle is equal to 180. So what do I need to know about those kinds of things? First of all, this angle looks right, but we would not be able to say that angle BAD was a right angle unless there was a right angle symbol in there. So never assume anything. Now that I've drawn this right angle symbol, I could say angle BAD is a right angle. If I was going to talk about its measure, I would say the measure of angle BAD is equal to 90 degrees. In that case, then, angles BAC and angle CAD are both acute. Looking at this one, angle PTQ is obtuse, although we shouldn't necessarily assume anything. If I had a protractor, I could measure it 0 to about 130, right? So yes, it's obtuse. Also, angles PTQ and angles QTR are adjacent. Angle PTQ and angle QTR are adjacent. Adjacent just means next to. And therefore, angle PTQ plus angle QTR, the measures of those angles added together, would equal the measure of angle PTR. That's the angle addition postulate, much like the segment addition postulate. A piece plus a piece equals a whole. Angle BAC plus angle CAD equals angle BAD. So there's some vocabulary. If I said that ray AC bisects, if I said ray AC bisects angle BAD, that would mean that angle BAC is congruent to angle CAD, or I would say that their measures are equal. There's some notation for you. The angles are congruent, their measures are equal. And if I knew they were 45, if I knew the whole angle was 90, then I could say they're 45. But bisects just means cuts in half. An array bisects an angle. A line could bisect an angle, but we often refer to the ray that bisects the angle. So that's some introduction. So let's see what you guys have to do here. Write 3 names for the angle shown. Angle LKJ, angle JKL, and since it's all by itself, you could just say angle K. Classify the angles. We talked about that vocabulary. Use a protractor to find the measures. I'll slap this protractor on there for you. You guys could kind of estimate. Looks like that one's about 50. Looks like that one's about 80. Then we get over here to 150. So given those, you should be able to find the other ones. Reason to watch the video. Give another name for the angle in the diagram. We've sort of been doing that already. Again, can't be vague. Can't say angle M. Can't say angle K. You could say angle J or angle L, but better to be specific. Find the indicated measure. This is just the idea of the angle addition postulate. Given this, find BDC. So if I know the whole thing is 135, 7x plus 11x plus 9 would equal 135. I think you can set that up algebraically. Again, solve for x, but make sure then you find the angle that they're asking for, the measure of angle BDC. Pretty confident you can do that. Here's where they're asking you, they're telling you that XZ bisects, so that means these two would have to be congruent. XZ bisects, these two would have to be congruent. And it says find the 2 angle measures not given. So there's one, and there's the other. There's one, and there's the other. In each diagram, ray BD bisects. So if BD is bisecting, these two have to be congruent. Set them equal to each other, solve for x, and then don't forget to find the measure of angle ABC once you have x. And I think I skipped the word problems. Sometimes they're just a little too convoluted. Oh, I do tell you to do this one, 1 through 29 odd. And the bridge shown. This is a good place just to, fill in what you know. FGH is 116. GK bisects it. What does that tell you about each of those? I often like to just fill in what I know, and then I can go from there. All right, hopefully that was a short one.